Hello children, today our new lesson is rate lesson. Okay, under this rate lesson, firstly we will learn about speed and the uniform speed. Okay, see the first subtopic speed. What is a speed? Speed is a distance, okay, distance but traveled per unit of time. Per unit of time is within 1 second or within 1 hour. What is the distance traveled by an object which is moving? Okay, so remember, speed is the distance traveled per unit of time. That time can be 1 second or 1 hour. Okay, right. And when we consider the uniform speed, the speed is a uniform one. That means the speed doesn't change. Okay, see, when the distance is a constant per unit of time, that means in every single second or in every single hour, the distance traveled by the vehicle is a constant. Just think, in 1 hour the distance traveled by an object is 10 kilometers within 1 hour. Okay, so in each and every hour this object is moving only 10 kilometers in each and every hour. That is the uniform speed. But children, in reality we know that usually vehicles, okay, in reality the vehicles do not maintain the same speed, no, because of different reasons they do not maintain, they are unable to maintain a uniform speed. But here when we talk about uniform speed, you should know that the speed is same. The speed is a constant at every single time unit. Okay, right. So this is the formula that we use to find the speed, of any object. It can be a vehicle or else another object. So to find the speed of that, how fast it is moving, to find that, divide the distance traveled by the object by the time taken by it. So remember, to find the speed, divide distance by the time. Okay, so whenever you go to a sum, write this formula and start your sum. Okay, and with the help of this formula you can find the time or distance taken by that object. How? To find the distance, you know that time can be sent to the other side, so it becomes a multiplication. So to find the relevant distance taken by, that means traveled by the object, to find it you can multiply the speed of the object by the time taken by it. Okay, in the same way, if you want to find the time taken by that moving object, okay, so bring time to this side and bring speed to the other side as a division. So to find the time, divide the distance by the speed. So no need to remember all these things, you remember only one thing, but with the help of this main formula you can find the time or distance when it is necessary. Okay, you need to make the formula, you need to arrange the formula as you wish, right? Now we will learn about the units that we use to measure speed. Okay, we know that to find the speed we need to divide the distance by the time. So here, to the distance, usually the distance should be measured by meters or kilometers. Okay, if you are mentioning the distance with meters, the time should be measured with seconds. The time should be mentioned with seconds. Okay, meters with seconds. So distance with meters and the time is with seconds. So when we divide, we know that this unit can be taken up. For an example, in indices lesson we learned, just imagine x over y is there or else y squared is there. We can bring this y squared up, but the power will be what? It will be a -1. If it is a -1 is down, it becomes positive when it comes up. Like this, you can change the denominators or numerators in this way, and while doing that you can change the sign of the relevant power. If it is a -1, when it changes its position, it becomes positive. If it is a +1, it becomes negative. So in the same way, here seconds are there, no? So when it goes up, when we mention it up, we need to put a -1. If it is a single one, what will happen? It becomes y to the power -1. So here also ms -1. In this way we can write the units of speed. If you are taking meters and seconds, we call it as meters per second. The number of meters traveled by the object within 1 second. Okay, and the next one is the distance can be mentioned with kilometers, while the time in hours. Every time these two go together. Meters and seconds go together separately, and kilometers and hours go together separately. So in the same way, after dividing, when you write an answer no front, along with the answer you need to write the correct units no. So at that time we write kilometers per hour, km h -1. When it goes up, we should mention this minus. Okay, so in this way also we read it, kilometers per hour. Okay, right. Next we will learn how to convert these meters per seconds into kilometers per hour and kilometers per hour into meters per second. Right, now firstly we will learn how to convert kilometers per hour into meters per second. My first example is 36 kilometers per hour. Right. Firstly, we need to convert kilometers into meters. Separately, we will convert kilometers into meters. We know that when we multiply by 1000, kilometers can be converted into meters. So, I can multiply by 1000. And you know that this per hour should be there down as the denominator. So only kilometers are up, hours are down, per hour is down. So when you convert hours into seconds, firstly you better convert hours into minutes, because you know that there is a direct relationship between hours and minutes. Then we can go to seconds. Okay, usually you know that to convert hours into minutes you can multiply by 60. And when you convert minutes into seconds, again by 60. That means by 2 60s you need to multiply. Not up, because you know that hours should come down. So down as the denominator we will mention this 60 into 60. Firstly we converted hours into minutes. Then those minutes into seconds we converted here. So remember, whenever you are given any speed in kilometers per hour, multiply by 1000, divide by 260s, or else you can multiply by 3600, because when you multiply these two, 3600 is coming. So as you wish you can do that. Okay, so here we can cut the zeros here, 0 to 0, this 0 to this 0, then see both are divisible by 6, 6 times 1, 6 times 6, again divisible by 6. Then what will remain? 10. So we can write meters per second. 10 meters per second. Within 1 second, only 10 meters are moved. Okay. So the same result can be obtained by like this also. How is that? We know that in each and every situation that you are given kilometers per hour, this is the calculation you need to do. Okay. We will little bit simplify this one. 1060 into 60, or 3600. So here 0 to 0, this 0 to this 0, and when we simplify a little, 2 times 3, 2 times 5. More than this cannot simplify. So we know that as the numerator 5 is coming, as the denominator 3 times 6 is 18. Except following this method, directly you can use these two values also when you convert the units here. That means when you are given 36 kilometers per hour, except this method, you can multiply by 5 over 18, because this is the simplest form. This is the simplest form of this whole thing. So you can see that 18 times 1 here, 18 times 2 is 36. So finally we get the same answer, 10 meters per second. Okay, so which method to follow should be decided by yourself. So I have taught you two methods, so you can follow any method that you want. Okay, so in the same way, when we go to 40 meters per second, now meters per second need to be converted into kilometers per hour, here also separately, that means meters into kilometers firstly, then seconds into hours then. Okay, right, now you know that here meters should be up. No, when you convert meters into kilometers, are we multiplying by 1000 or dividing by 1000? Opposite of this, right? Earlier when you convert kilometers into meters, you multiplied by 1000. Now when you convert a smaller unit, meters, into kilometer, that bigger unit, you need to divide by 1000. That means 1000 should come down. And the next one, per second means, as the denominator now, the seconds must be there. Okay, so when you convert seconds into hours, that means again need to divide, that means upside down, not below, but here those 60 should come. That means the opposite of this calculation. So here you can simplify a little. See what will come? (144 kilometers per hour). This is the answer. The same answer can be obtained by the simplest form of this. You know, the upside down of this number is what? This fraction 18 over 5. Simply when you multiply by 18 over 5 also, you can get the same answer. We will check whether the same answer is coming. (144 kilometers per hour). Same answer is coming. So I think that this method is a little bit easy for you. Okay, as a note, I will give you the next slide. Now we will go to some examples. First one, 18 kilometers per hour. So 18 should be multiplied by 5 over 18 simply. If you want, you can follow the long method also. Multiply by 1000, divide by 3600. That is also okay. But here 18 times 1, so answer is 5 meters per second. Next, 54 multiply by 5, divide by 18. 18 times 3, you can divide 54 by 18 also to get the answer. Then 15 meters per second. Next, 30 meters per second. We know the upside down of this. So 30, that means reciprocal. Multiply by 18, divide by 5. 5 times 6, 108 kilometers per second per hour. Next, 25. Multiply by 18, divide by 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 90 kilometers per hour. So now you may be thinking why we should learn this conversion thing. Sometimes in the example question, sometimes in the questions, you may be given the speed in kilometers per hour, but the distance is given in meters and you need to find the time in seconds. No, if you are given the distance in meters, you need to find the time in seconds, but the speed is given in kilometers per hour. So at that time you better convert the speed into the relevant unit according to the question. Thereafter go to the formula. Sometimes you may be given the speed in meters per second, but the time is given in hours. Time may be given in hours, or the distance may be given in kilometers. Totally different units, no. So you better convert the meters per second into kilometers per hour. Thereafter go to the question with the help of the formula. Okay, that's why we need to learn this conversion thing. Now we will go to the examples in your textbook. According to the first example, a feather floating on air with uniform speed. They have given us a specific verb two words. What are those? Uniform speed. That means at this time we need to think that the speed is same at each and every second or each and every hour. Drifts 100 meters in 20 seconds. Calculate the speed. Right. What is the distance? 100 meters. The time taken by it is 20 seconds. So you better write the units along with the values. Okay. Right. Here we know that 0 to 0 can cut. 10 divided by 2, 5, or directly 100 divided by 20 is 5 meters per second. It's easy. But you see whether the units are matching. That means meters should go with seconds, kilometers should go with hours. Right. If you are given hours here, time is given in hours, you need to convert it into seconds. Thereafter substitute. Next, second question. Calculate the distance travelled in 1 minute by a bird that flies at a uniform speed of 5 meters per second. The speed is given in meters per second and the time is 1 minute. We need to find the distance travelled by this bird. Okay, they haven't given us any specific unit for calculating the distance, whether in meters or kilometers, they haven't mentioned. But you see the given data for you, meters per second, the speed is given and the time is given in minutes. So you better convert time into seconds to the matched one. So to convert 1 minute into seconds, you need to multiply by 60 now. And the other thing is, here we no need to find the speed, we know the speed, and the time also. We need to find the distance only. So make distance alone in one side, send time to the other side. So we can prepare our new formula with the help of the original one. What is that? Speed multiplied by time. Okay, now the speed is 5 meters per second and the time I am converting it can be done separately also. 1 minute multiplied by 60 seconds. Okay, so here we will multiply by 60 seconds. Right. 300. Now what will be the units here? It's a distance, no? So in meters only it should come. And when we cancel the units also, we can get the same answer. Here seconds, per second to second you can cancel. Okay, per second to second you can cancel, so only meters will remain. Next, third example. Calculate the time it takes for a car to travel 150 kilometers on a highway at a uniform speed of 60 kilometers per hour. There is no any problem with the units because the distance is given in kilometers and the speed is given in kilometers per hour. So nothing to be converted here, but here we need to find what? The time. So you better make alone this time alone. Bring time to up and send speed to down. So our new formula is time equals distance divided by speed. What is the distance? 150 kilometers. And what is the speed? 60 kilometers per hour. When we concern the units, here up kilometers to down kilometers are cancelling out, and this h minus 1 can be sent up by making positive, right? So in hours the answer will come. H minus 1 will go up and we can make it as positive. Now the division part, 0 to 0 can cut. Both are divisible by 3. 3 times 2 here, 3 times 5. So 5 over 2 means 2.5. 2.5 hours. Next, our fourth question. How far does a motorcycle travel along a main road in 5 seconds? time is given in seconds. If its speedometer displays a constant speed of 36 kilometers per hour, need to find what? How far means the distance should be found, right? Distance should be found. There is a problem here. What is that? The time is given in seconds and we need to find the distance in what? In meters. But here the speed is given in kilometers per hour. Now we will convert this speed into meters per second firstly. That must be our first step. Otherwise we cannot go to the formula. 36 should be multiplied by 5 divided by 18, or else multiply by 1000 divided by 3600. We know that 18 times 2 is 36. So 2 times 5, multiply the rest, 10 meters per second. And now we can go to the formula. Speed equals to distance divided by time. But here we need to find the distance. So by making distance alone, send time to the other side. So to find the distance, finally we need to multiply speed by time. What is the speed? 10 meters per second. What is the time? 5 seconds. Now we know that here seconds to per seconds cancelling out and only meters will remain. Multiply the values here. 50 meters. Now our fifth example. How long does it take? That means the time should be found here, okay? How long does it take a train which is 75 meters long to pass a signpost if it is traveling at a uniform speed of 60 kilometers per hour? This is the speed of the train and the length of the train is 75 meters. Okay, and what is the time taken by this train to pass this signpost? Okay, if this is the train, to pass in the signpost means the full length should be passed. Okay, the full length should pass this post. So when you find the time as the distance, what should we take? We should take the distance of the length of the train should be taken as the distance here. Okay, and the other problem here is the speed. See the units here and the units of the distance here. Okay, meters, no, this is given in meters, but the speed is given in kilometers per hour. So at that time you should convert the speed into meters per second. Then only you can go to the formula. And remember that main point here, this train is not a single point. Okay, so when the train passes this post, when you find the time as the distance, what should we take? The length of the train should be taken. Okay, firstly we will convert the speed here. 60 kilometers per hour, no, so multiply by 5 over 18. So here 18, we can see that by 6 both are divisible. Here 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 10 is 60. Now remaining numbers can be multiplied. 50 over 3 meters per second. I am not going to convert this improper fraction into a mixed number. Why? To the formula again I need to apply this speed to find the time duration here. So if I am converting this into a mixed number, again in the formula I have to convert it into an improper fraction. So you can stop from here. Then as the next point we need to find the time, right? What is the formula of finding time, if you can remember? The distance divided by the speed. Right, now here the distance is what? The length of the train should be taken as the distance. I am writing the units also. And what is the speed that we have converted? 50 over 3. Right, when you write 50 over 3, fraction of another fraction, no, so you can think like this. Usually two denominators can be kept. So simply if I am telling, you can bring this 3 up, that means 75 multiplied by 3 divided by 50. If you are confusing with that, you can divide the distance 75 meters can be divided by the speed. No, what is the speed? 50 over 3 ms minus 1, right? Right, now at this time we know that division can be written as a multiplication while you are writing the reciprocal of the next fraction. So 75 multiplied by 3 over 50. Now what will happen? You can simplify a little. I hope that you understood this. The distance 75 meters, divide. Here not as a usual fraction I am writing because this is a fraction. Okay, so I am dividing, I am putting the division mark and the speed as a usual fraction. Then instead of the division put multiplication and the reciprocal upside down of the next fraction. Now see whether you can simplify a little. By 25 both are divisible. 25 times 2 is 50, 25 times 3 is 75. So 3 times 3 is 9 over 2. Ignore that a time is coming now here. So seconds, that means ms minus 1 goes down. So meters to meters cancelling. Now 7 seconds come up. So here as the final answer we can write 4.5 seconds. Divide 9 by 2. Okay, if I am showing you the division, 2 times 4 is 8, 1 is remaining, place a decimal point, put 0 down, 2 times 5 is 10. So 4.5 seconds is coming like that. So the next question is question number 6. Find the time. Again we need to find the time taken by a train of length 60 meters. Now the length of the new train is 60 meters and it's crossing a bridge which is 100 meters long and its speed is 72 kilometers per hour. Now when this train crosses this bridge, okay, when this train crosses the bridge, you know that along with this 100 meters you need to add the length of the train also. Now this bridge is not a single point like this post, okay, so you need to add these two lengths when you get the distance here. Okay, not only this length, no, this train is passing from this point to this point, the whole length should be passed, no. So add 160 when you get these type of questions, right? Anyhow, you can see the distance given in meters but the speed in kilometers per hour. Units are different, so we better firstly convert the speed. 72 multiplied by 5 over 18. Okay, here 18 times 1, here 18 times 4. If it is hard for you to get this answer directly, by 9 you can divide, by 2 you can divide, likewise step by step you can divide these two numbers and get the same answer. Okay, right. 4 times 5 is 20 meters per second. Now before going to the formula, we should find the total distance, no? What is the total distance? This train should pass 100 plus 60, 160 meters. Now we can go to the same formula to find the time, distance divided by speed. The distance is 160 meters. The speed is 20 meters per second. So here 0 to 0 cut. Divide 16 by 2, 8. Meters to meters cut. Per second goes up. Then it becomes just seconds. That means 8 seconds. Now children, we will learn about the average speed. Earlier we learned about the speed and the uniform speed. I told you when the speed is constant, it is called a uniform speed. We think that, we assume that in each and every time duration, in each and every time unit, the distance traveled by the moving object is same. Okay, but we know practically it can't be done due to various reasons, due to the traffic or any other reason. We know that usually vehicles take different time durations to durations when they travel in a road. Okay, for an example, here I have given you this. Just think a vehicle is traveling from this point to that point. Okay, the total distance is what? 60 kilometers. Okay, but due to different reasons, see what has happened. When it travels the first 20 kilometers, it has taken 1 hour. And when it travels this next 20 kilometers, it has taken 1.5 hours. That means it has taken more time than the previous distance. Okay, then within half an hour it has gone the next 20 kilometers. Here to understand easily only, I have mentioned the 3 distances same, but the distances can be different, times also can be different. Okay, but to understand easily only, I have given you the distances as same. Okay, it's clear that the speeds are different, right? When it travels the first 20 kilometers, the speed is one value, and in the next 20 kilometers the speed is little low because it has taken more time than the previous, and in the last 20 kilometers speed is high because within half an hour it has gone, right? So this is the practical situation, though we made sums by using uniform speed, right, by using uniform speed concept. But here we know that although we get 3 different speeds, okay, here we can calculate an average speed. In common we can find a common speed, but how? Usually we know to find the speed we divide the distance by time. Okay, here to find the average speed, divide the total distance by the total time taken by the object, moving object or the vehicle. So here we know 60 kilometers should go up, and the time durations what 3 hours, right? Likewise can find the average speed. Speed is coming as an average, but it is not the same speed. The vehicle was unable to maintain the same speed, uniform speed here, but that is the concept. This is the way we calculate an average speed. Okay, now as an example in your textbook you are given a question like this. An intercity bus took half an hour to travel the first 25 kilometers of a journey. If it took the bus 1 hour to cover the remaining 80 kilometers of the journey, find the average speed of the bus. Now it's clear that the speeds are different, okay, but it doesn't matter. To find the average speed, clearly see whether you need to find the average speed or the uniform speed. Okay, it's clearly mentioned in the questions. In early examples you go through the questions, there especially they have mentioned that uniform speed, but here it's clearly mentioned average speed. Okay, we will add the distance. Firstly we know the total distance. No, we will write the formula firstly. Okay, total distance divided by total time. So here what is the total distance here? 105 kilometers, right? It should be divided by what? 1.5 hours. No, okay, when we write 1.5 hour, it can be converted total time. 1.5 hour means 3/2 hours, right? Right. So fraction of another fraction. No, here we need to write. So without following that method, instead of this line division, you can put division mark. This total distance divide by the time. What is the time? 3/2 hours, 1.5 hours. Usually we should convert into improper and write it. Okay, now we can multiply here. Instead of division, put multiplication mark and the reciprocal upside down, 2/3. Right, now we can divide. 3 times 1 here, 3 times 3 9, 1 is remaining, 3 times 5 15, 70. What we need to find the speed, 70 kilometers per hour, because hour is going up in multiplication. Right, this is the average speed. As an average we have found it. Now children, we will learn about distance time graphs. Okay, so here to illustrate the change in distance with respect to the time only, we use these distance time graphs. Okay, in your textbook you are given an example along with a table. Okay, here in this table the information collected by observing the motion of a satellite traveling with uniform speed is given to you. Okay, satellite traveling with uniform speed. Right, now time is given in seconds, the distance is given in meters. Okay, these are the values, relevant values, and we are going to draw the distance time graph. You should know that there should be x and y axis, but here we don't write x or y there. Okay, at the corners, what do we need to write? In the x axis we should mention the time along with the relevant units. In seconds, no, within brackets write the units, and as the y axis we need to put the distance with meters because they have given us meters. And you know that with equal gaps we need to mention the numbers here. So here I have taken 5 by 5 because they also have given to us 5 by 5. So starting from 0, 5, 10, 15, likewise 5 by 5 with an equal gap you need to mark these numbers. Okay, and as the distance also 100 by 100 it is given. So starting from 0, 100, 200, 300, likewise I have marked the numbers. Okay, now we will mark these relevant points here. When this satellite moves, the first 5 seconds it has moved 100 meters within the first 5 seconds. So within first 5 seconds it has moved 100 meters. This is our first point. Next, within the next 5 minutes, when it goes to 10 seconds, it has moved 200, 10 to 200, this point. Next, 15 to 300, 20 to 400, 25 to 500, next 30 to 600, 35 to 700, 40 to 800, likewise. Right, if you are marking this on a square rule book accurately, it is coming, not like my diagram. Right, if you have marked accurately, when you play, you can keep the ruler and join all these points. Starting from 0 you can, okay, keep the ruler and join all the points. Right, so this is the distance time graph. Right, right. Now here we will find the speed. To find the speed, you know that the distance can be divided by the time. What is the total distance traveled by this satellite? 800 meters. Okay, we will divide it by the time, 40 seconds. What will come? 20 meters per second. I divided the total distance by the time taken by it. Okay, now you can see there is a straight line here. By joining all these points I have obtained a straight line. Okay, can you remember how to find the gradient of a straight line? You can select any 2 points. Okay, you can select any 2 points. Here I am selecting these 2 points. These 2 points I am selecting, but you can take any of those. Right, now when we prepare a triangle like this, you know, to find the gradient, the y difference should be divided by x difference, right? Y difference divided by x difference. Remember this formula. Okay, now this represents the y difference, no? Our vertical length is y difference, no? And this is the x difference, no? X difference. Right, from down we get the x difference because this is x axis. Right, firstly we will go to find y difference. Right, here when we consider these 2 values, what are those two? 700 and 500. So from 700 I am subtracting 500. To find the y difference, I have selected these 2 points now. So, along with those 2 points, go until you meet the distance line or y axis, then get the difference. Next, to find the x difference, these two, the relevant two, to find the relevant to x axis, x coordinates, go down here. Okay, 25 and 35. Get the difference of those two. From the biggest, subtract the smallest one. Right. From 700, when you subtract 500, 200. From 35, subtract 25, 10. What will come? 20. The gradient is 20 here. Right. As the y difference we got meters, the units must be meters, and as the x difference we get seconds, so meters per second is coming. Now, what can you decide here? You can select, I told you earlier, you can select any points that you want. Select any 2 points and get this result, the same result will come. Okay, what is the final conclusion that we can get from here? The gradient of the drawn straight line is equal to the speed of the vehicle or the speed of the object. Remember that. The same speed is coming with the gradient of the straight line also. Okay, this is the final result we are getting. Remember that. Now we will go to the first example in your textbook. Okay, a distance time graph illustrating the motion of Nimal, who cycled to his friend's house. See, this represents his movement to his friend's house, and then return back home after spending some time with his friend is given below. Going to friend's house, spending some time at friend's house, thereafter returning home. Okay, right. And then here if I am explaining a little, when there is a gradient like this, you should know the object is travel. That means Nimal has traveled. Okay, but you know from point B to C, is there any difference here? At the same distance, no, the 2 points are there. That means the object is not moved. That means Nimal hasn't moved anywhere, right? After that, from C to D represents his returning to home, right? It shows a speed really. Okay, these slanted lines show speed us. In Roman number 1, calculate the speed at which Nimal cycled to his friend's house. That means from A to B, the speed should be found, right? There, to find the speed, we need to divide the distance. What is the distance? From A to D, the Nimal has moved 6 kilometers. He has gone 6 kilometers, and it should be divided by the time duration from point A to B. The time duration is what? 30 minutes. But we know that with kilometers we cannot write minutes or seconds. It must be every time hours. So how do we convert minutes into hours? By dividing 60, right? Or else, you know, 30 minutes mean half an hour. So here you can divide by half an hour, right? I told you when it's coming a fraction as the denominator, if there is another fraction, it's a little bit hard for us to solve. So at that time I told you that you can follow this method. What? 6 divide by, that means the distance, divide by the time, half. Thereafter what? Instead of division, put multiplication and the reciprocal. That means 12 kilometers per hour. This is the speed. Or else there is a short method that you can follow here. You can see two denominators, no? You think that this is the original numerator and this is the original denominator 1, and two denominators can't be there. So at that time you bring the second denominator up to the numerator. So what will happen? 6 over 1 multiplied by 2. Now bring the second denominator up. So the same answer is coming, no? 12 kilometers per hour. Same answer is coming, right? Next they ask, if I am asking what is the time duration he spent at his friend's house, it is from 30 to 50 20 minutes only, 20 minutes. So there at that time no need to convert into hours, because just a time. No, you are given any distance he is traveled during this time duration. No, he has spent his friend's house, right? Then as the second one, they have asked calculate the speed at which Nimal returned home, the speed of this, right? Okay, from this point, when we consider these 2 points, what is the distance he has traveled? From 12, from the maximum subtract the minimum, from 12 subtract 6, that means 6 kilometers again, correct? No, the distance must be same. No. Next, the time duration. To find the time duration, go down along with the points. From 70 subtract 50, 20 minutes. Now we know that minutes should be converted into hours because this is given in kilometers, right? How do we do that? 20 should be divided by 60. To convert minutes into hours to the bigger unit, divide by 60. 1/3, right? 1/3 hour. Now here, as I told you earlier, you can write like this: 1/3, 3 is coming up, that means 18 kilometers per hour. Same answer can be obtained like this. How? Original numerator, original denominator, send the second denominator up. So 6 into 3 over 1, 18 kilometers per hour. This is a short method, right? Now children, we are going to go to a new topic. What is that? Volume and time. Is there any relationship between the volume of water or any liquid amount and the time? Okay, now we will see about the rate of change of volume. Okay, to find the rate of change of volume, we should divide the change of volume. That means as an amount we need to take, divide by the time. Okay, what does it mean really? The amount of water that flows per unit of time. Just think, water is flowing out from a tap during a certain period of time. Okay, so at that time we can find the volume amount which flew out from the tap and the time spent for that. Okay, by dividing those two, we can find the rate of change of that volume. It's like a speed only, speed of the liquid which came out from the tap. Understood? So here there are 2 units that we can use. What are those? Liters per second and liters per minute. Okay, here there is no any standard unit, but to measure the volume you can use liters, and to measure the time you can use seconds or minutes. Okay, it's not a problem. So simply I have taken a short form of the formula: rate equals volume divided by time, volume of the liquid and the time spent to flow or to come out. Now children, we will go to the examples in your textbook. The first example: the time taken for 30 liters of petrol to be pumped into a car through a pump at a certain petrol shed was 60 seconds. Okay, to pump 30 liters to this car, it has taken 60 seconds. We need to find the rate at which petrol flows out of the pump, right? To find the rate, volume amount should be divided by the time taken to pump there. Volume amount is 30 liters. I am writing the units also, and the time spent for that is 60 seconds. In short form I am writing. Okay, we know that it's 1/2, right? So you can write half or 0.5 liters per second. Half even can be written. Okay. Next, the second example: the length, breadth and height of a cuboid shaped indoor water tank. This is the water tank. The length, breadth, height are mentioned by me respectively. And on an occasion when the tank was completely filled with water. Now you just think the tank is completely filled with water and it took 50 minutes for the tank to empty it by a pipe. It took 50 minutes to empty this whole tank, right? Then assume that the water flowed through the pipe uniformly. It means at a uniform speed, you just think at a uniform rate, right? Then here we need to find what? Here we need to find the speed that water flew up from the tank, right? Before finding the speed, we should know the volume and the time. Here the time is given to us, no? What is the volume of this tank? To find that, we need to multiply the length, breadth and the height, right? We need to convert this mixed number into an improper fraction firstly. 3/2, that means 2 times 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3 meters and 1 meter, right? Now this down to 2, up to can be cancelled out, 3 times 1 is 3, cubic meters is coming. Now can you remember, you have learnt 1 cubic meter is equal to 1000 liters. Remember that 1 cubic meter is equal to 1000 liters. If it is so, 3 cubic meters is equal to 3000. It's 3000 liters. Now we know the volume also. So here to find the rate, the volume amount which was pumped out and within 50 minutes. Now when we simplify this, 60 liters per minute will come. This is the, so you just think the speed of the water amount which came out, right? Rate is just like the speed only, right? Next, the third example, a saline solution was administered to a patient at a rate of 0.2 milliliters. Volume is given in milliliters, no, that means milliliters per second. Within 1 second, 0.2 milliliters is given, right? And calculate the time it takes for 450 milliliters of saline solution to be administered, right? Now here what should we do? We will go to the formula there. To find the rate, we know that the volume should be divided by the time here, but here the what do we need to find here? The time, no? So you make it alone in one side, so the volume should be divided by the rate here. Volume is 450 milliliters and the rate is 0.2 milliliters per second, right? Now what should we do here? When you divide by a decimal number, right? Here firstly we will cancel out the units, milliliters to milliliters you can cut, and seconds per second is coming up and it becomes just seconds. So the answer will come in seconds. Now you know that by a decimal number we cannot divide anything, so you better make it as a whole number. How many decimal places are there? Only one decimal place. So you better multiply it by 10, numerator also by 10. It's like equivalent fractions, okay? So what will come? 4500 divided by 2. This 0.2 becomes just 2 when we multiply by 10. And now simply we can divide this. 2250 seconds. Now we know that 1 minute has 60 seconds. Now here can't you convert this into minutes? No, because there are so many seconds here. You can simply convert this into seconds or minutes also by dividing 60, right? Okay, the answer is 37 and the remainder should be written as the numerator and the divided number should be written as the denominator, but we know that these two can be little simplified. 37.5 minutes. So you better convert into minutes, but more than this we cannot convert into hours. If it is greater than 60 minutes, at that time you can convert into hours also. But here I saw that this number is bigger than 60. That means minutes can be formed there. Understood? Right. Hope that you understood the lesson, children. So you can do the exercises in your textbook, and in our online class we can discuss the answers and you can solve your problems there.